Hello everyone, CompSci Girl 523 here, and we're back with SolveIT Case 5, High Risk, High Mountain. Thank you everyone who has been playing my maps. I appreciate all the feedback you've been giving me. Special thank you to my play testers. Really appreciate all your help. And I guess we'll get started. So this just gives you important information. You can customize your armor here. And of course the thank you for playing cookie. Like in my other recordings, this is just to basically go through the puzzles. So I'll just summarize what's going on in chat. So Holman's just asking you to go pick up an order he has at the bookstore, because you're tired of doing paperwork. So we're just going to pick up his order. Let's see what book he was ordering. Interesting. So it said for us to go check out our mailbox. So this is just a bill. They said you can get a snack if you want. I'm not going to grab a snack. I'm going to go straight back to the agency. Apparently, corporate wants us to keep working on paperwork. Woman says there's a new case in our mailbox now. Greetings, SolveIT Detective Agency. My name is Judy Wells. I am the manager of the Tanga Mountain Ski Lodge. You see, we are holding a winter sports conference in a few weeks, and our main sponsor, Cliff Petroff, the pro skier, is, well, having some issues. This is his event, and he planned to have it here because of his history with the place. Lately, however, he has been acting paranoid. I need you to send a detective up here ASAP to try and figure out what exactly is going on around here. Please. Sincerely, Judy Wells. So let's accept the case. It looks like we're heading to the mountains. Holman says there's some armor in here that we can use. Keep that on me. So it was a long trip. We made it. It's now snowing. We should head to the lodge. Now, let me turn down the music real quick. I should have turned the music down a little bit. There we go. So this is the person who contacted us, but he said there's been a change of plans because Cliff Petroff has been murdered. So this has now turned from trying to figure out why he's paranoid to figuring out who murdered him. She said you should head up to your room, and then she'll talk to you in the morning in her office. So, room key 2-1. You hear the sound of a leaky pipe, but we're just going to ignore that for now. That's what is there. So she explains what happened. She gave you a rundown of the place and where everybody's located in the book. And she said she'd try to meet everybody. So if you look in the book, gives an overview of everything, and it says where everybody is located, or usually located. So, according to this, there are 2 people in the lodge to talk to. Our first person's here. This is Brad. He explains that he was Cliff's friend. And the other person in the lodge is Hank, the handyman. He's not here right now, so we'll have to come back later. It says Susan is by the lake. Susan is married to Brad, and she was friends with Cliff as well. And that's what the conversation basically entails. We'll skate across the lake. We have Melvin, Cliff's brother. And we have Samuel, who owns the cafe. And he's known the Petroff since they were little kids. Last we have Gina, who's at the gift shop. Now we should go see if Hank's back in his office. Seems Hank was sleeping in his office. And he has something for you to do. So he wants you to go next door and sort all the decorations into their proper bins. Alright, for this puzzle, you may need to click slightly behind each object to pick it up off the shelf. So Hank is talking on the phone to somebody, and we're overhearing their conversation. We need to go talk to him. He says we should go check in with Judy. She was talking to the police. They said they can't release any information at this time. They also said that no one's allowed in the crime scene, but you need to check the crime scene. She says she doesn't have a key, so we'll have to find another way to get into the crime scene. And that Brad wanted to talk to us, so let's go talk to Brad. He's not here. Let's see what he was doing on his computer. Articles, some discrepancies. And Brad's coming, so we better walk away from the computer. He's apologizing for what happened, because he was a bit rude to you earlier. Talks about how they were kids that look for secret passages. It's time to look at the murder room. It's locked. We're gonna need to get a lockpick kit, which we could probably get from the handyman. He says we can't because it's a liability to have us use tools, so we need to talk to Judy. And now Judy won't let us into her office. And she says you can't use any tools. Nope. So she wants you to go help Sam and Gina, but first you want to figure out how to get into that room. So we're going to try to get Hank out of his office by telling him about the leaky pipe we heard. And Hank's asleep. Alright, so this is a lockpick puzzle. So how it works is you select which color you want to use first. It doesn't matter what order you do these in. And you're trying to get that color stained glass on top of the colored clay inside the maze. So we'll start with yellow since it's the easiest one to get to. And once you got them all, it'll pop up in the chat that you got them all, and you click here to exit the lockpick. And now, the door should open. So now you can explore the room. What we're trying to get to is going in here. The wall was a fake wall, so you can go down the secret passage now. And it's another false wall, and you can hear through the wall the conversation going on the other side. It seems Brad and Susan are having an argument. There was torn fabric on the floor in the room, and there's a torn coat here. And there's the torn fabric. So now it said we should go help Sam and Gina. You can do these in a new order as well. Just Sam is the first one, so we'll just talk to him first. He wants you to try to make some recipes, and you're given the ability to break blocks while you're in there. So you have 5 recipes to make. For some reason it doesn't drop seeds. There's some spare seeds in here. As you're cooking, you're overhearing a conversation. Now you're hearing the tail end of this conversation. And now you're done cooking. So you can just leave. Don't need that. Leave those. And he gave you some pie. So we have two displays to do. We have an armor stand display and a shelf display. So you need to use the key to get into the chest. So in the book, it explains in a very abstract way how exactly you're supposed to set up the armor stands. So basically, you have to, by process of elimination, figure out where each item goes. So the solution is this. And tell you when you complete that one. This one basically describes the items and where they need to go. The number corresponds to the spot on the shelf. You may need to click a few times to try to get it to stay, but it will eventually stay. If you make a mistake, it's easy to pick the object back up. Or accidentally swap an object. There we go. When you're done, you'll overhear a conversation between Melvin and Gina. She explains how Cliff and his brother Melvin were sometimes troublemakers. And you think you should go talk to Susan about that argument you overheard. So you casually bring up the fact that you get to walk around the whole entire place rather than just staying in the lodge, and she mentions that Brad cannot. You also find out that Cliff and Judy were a couple. Now we should go check on Judy. Judy's not in her office, so we can explore her office. Never trust paintings. That's the phone ringing. So you're talking to the police department, the chief of the police department, explaining that Judy actually never called them to ask them if you could possibly have access to the room and to the witness statements, which is very odd. And they said Judy should have a key to the room. So they'll send you the witness statements once they hear from Holman that you are indeed a detective. And then Judy walks in on you talking to the police. You just say they just called. You don't tell her anything about the conversation. She said you should take a break. She said you think you should go to the library and figure out where in the world that passage lets out. First, we need to get Brad to leave. This explains that there's money missing. Now we can explore. So his computer's locked. It seems we need a book called The Great Gatsby, and I happen to click it right away. Get the files, and we can explore the rest of the room. But first, we'll look at the files. This looks like all the spending that's been going on. That's missing money. And some emails between Brad and Cliff. Now, if we walk up to here, this is rather odd for the flower pots. So now you're able to break the flower pots, and there are carvings, which are these letters and numbers, that correspond to which flower is supposed to go in which flower pot. So I'll just break all of these. So A2 is Charlotte's Web. B3 is Snow White. A4 is Johnny Appleseed. And C1, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So basically you're going to look at the books and see what colors correspond to what book. So for example, Charlotte's Web is about a spider and a pig, so pink. Then was Snow White. Then Johnny Appleseed. And then Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This looks familiar. We're back in Cliff's room, but somebody's coming down the hall. We better hide. It seems Judy has let the others in the room. And they're arguing about who murdered Cliff. We should go check in with Judy. So she's busy, she can't talk to you. She says that she needs you to go and fix the ski lift. Might as well. There was a shiny piece of metal, but if no one's been down there in years to fix it, why is there a shiny piece of metal? Shouldn't it be a rusty piece of metal? Let's go to the top. Let's go explore. I'm going to need to find another way down because you can't take a ski lift back down. Let's see. There's a pickaxe missing. And there's a secret door over here. And there's footprints. You said you saw something that could help you get down the mountain. So let's look around. And we find a sled. Now we're at the bottom of the mountain. You think that's enough for the day? We better go back to the room. So it seems somebody tried to drop a bucket of hot water on your head, try to scare you. So we should talk to Judy in the morning. Let's put these in my inventory. Judy's not there. Let's try to pick the lock to get into her office. So this one's a little bit different. You have these 3 that you need to get rid of before you can do the yellow one. Otherwise, the other 3 you can do in any order. I'll go purple first. Now remember where her password was. She's been looking up lawyers. And there's a threatening email. Let's see what else. There's a file with your name on it. I knew you would find a way into my computer. My informant was right. You are a brilliant detective. I could not give you the key to the room without the culprit potentially harming me, as I am sure you saw reading the email I left open on the computer. I know I let the others in the room, good thinking hiding, by the way, but that is because I was threatened by the culprit who still is unknown. Here's the deal. I left the master key in the safe behind the front desk. However, Hank retrieves it at 9 a.m. every day to do his work. You'll have to make a mold of it and make your own copy before he gets a hold of it. There is clay in the safe. Just make the mold, find some iron, melt it, and let it cool. Ta-da, a key. The safe code is the second number on your room key, the number of cases you've solved, the number of chairs on the ski lift, and the number of guest rooms. Good luck. So the safe code will be 1416. So we're going to write it on a piece of paper. And there's the safe. Now she give you the mold, and we'll put the key back. And Hank almost caught us. Better head back to our room to make the key. So we put this in here, and this. It gives us a key back. Now we can explore everybody's rooms. We'll start up here. So this is Hank's room. Some books and some gold. This is Judy's room. Lots of clothes. Some movies. And a book. This leaves Melvin's and then Brad and Susan's. Melvin's still asleep, so we can't go in there. We go in Brad and Susan's room. These chests are locked, so we need to find the key. Or in this case, keys. Susan's key, some books, some spare ice skates, and Brad's key. And there's a book. What's on with that? That just leaves Melvin's room, but first we should check our email and see if we got any more information. This is the police report. It basically says all the evidence they found, all the witness statements, and information about each suspect, and if they have an alibi. So the only three people that don't have alibis are Melvin, Brad, and Judy. So now we can go and check Melvin's room because he should be up by now. Lag. It's locked. Oh, there's a key. A missing pickaxe and the statue that was missing. Where did we see the missing statue? Footprints were this way. Now here's where the villain is going to be revealed. So if you don't want to see who the villain is, warning, this is where the villain is revealed. So we'll look around. Looks like they've been drilling for oil here. A book. It was Melvin. There was a cave-in and now he's run away. So now we need to find a way through the tunnels. I'm going to turn this off just for sound. So we have a book here. So in the book there are certain words that are bolded. Those are the words that you want to keep in mind when you're going through the tunnels. There is a way to backtrack if you go the wrong way. But for now, so it said right. Book. Hook, which is a tripwire hook. Now it's like compass, but I'll show you if you happen to go the wrong way, there's usually something at the end of it, whether it be cobwebs or lava, or in this case, a creeper. Seeds. Power would be a redstone block. Fight, so it would be a sword. And light, which would be a sea lantern. Quick to exit. So there's Melvin and 2 Judys. Interesting. So it says flip the lever. And now he's trapped. So now we're talking to the 2 Judys. As it turns out, it's Judy and Trudy, her twin sister. Her twin sister is a police officer. They explain that she has an informant who told her about you, but she won't tell you who the informant is. Now it's time to leave. But of course, our mysterious note sender has to send us another note. So you get these snow cool leggings and a book that says TikTok. Dear Detective, 5 cases come and gone, finished and solved. You are doing great. I fear, however, your talent has not gone unnoticed. They see your skill as well and may try to persuade you. Do not be fooled. Remember who are your friends and who are foes. Remember to not trust everything you see. I will be in contact soon. I fear time is running out. TikTok, a friend. Yes, toss the book in the bin. So we're going to toss it in the bin. And that's the end of SolveIT Case 5. Stay tuned for SolveIT Case 6. I don't know when it will be ready. I am just starting to write the story right now, so it may take a while. And yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for playing my map. Also, if you wanted to see the code, you can click here to go see the code. Thanks.